Thanks. Okay. I've been really sick this week, so if I just start coughing really a whole lot, just move back a little. But I'm supposedly not contagious, according to urgent care. And I hope that's true. I'm feeling better now. I was really, really sick last week, like really sick. And you know, sometimes when you're that sick, it's like going through 5 stages of grief, you know, and I just kind of went from acceptance straight to revenge. And because, you know, when you're sick like that, you know somebody gave you this, somebody. And I'm single, so there's a lot of somebodies it could have been. And I sat there dwelling on this because that's about all I could do. And so I pulled out a voodoo doll, because that's what we do in New Orleans. That's what we do for things like that. And I was just like, somebody's going to pay for this. I don't know who it is, but I'll find out. And I just started ramming the needles in that sucker. And I passed out somewhere along the way because I was drinking a hot toddy the size of a big-ass beer. And the next day, you know, I still wasn't feeling a whole lot better. I got a call from a cousin, and she said, hey, look, I won't be able to come to your show tonight because I've been diagnosed with a debilitating disease. And I said, so you're the one that got me sick. Anyway, she's not here tonight. Sorry. So that's how that works. That is kind of how we operate down here. I lived away from here for a long time where modern medicine is respected. And then I came back, and I wasn't here very long when I was suffering from a really bad pinched nerve and, I don't know, some sort of terrible problems, which I was in a lot of pain. And my roommate, my gay husband, Kyle, at the time I was living with, he is a man with 2 master's degrees at that point and working on a PhD, and he did what any intellectual would do. He was like, I'll be right back, and he came back in about an hour and a half with a Ziploc bag filled with pain medications from various people's homes, because in New Orleans, everyone is a pharmacist. Not just the stores that say pharmacy, everyone here. We all know how to do it. You know, he just gave it to me, and I thought that was irresponsible because here he was, very well educated. He did not bother to give me a book to look up and see what was what. So I survived that, and I'm still trying not to operate that way. I'm trying to trust more in modern medicine, but living here is different. Sorry. So I work down here. Anybody here tourist? Do we have any visitors? It's okay. I'm not going to attack you. I just want to know who you are. I'd more likely go after the locals. Okay. I like a good fight. I work downtown in public safety. I'm a public safety ranger. Seems, for you tourists, that might seem counterproductive to what we're trying to do you here. Yeah, we're trying to get you drunk in a real friendly fashion, and then we're going to rob you and somehow turn around so that you're the one arrested. Just a joke. NOPD is present. Okay. So yes, I work as a public safety ranger down here. And so mostly my day is spent mostly with tourists and homeless people. We do a lot of homeless outreach. We do tourist outreach. It's very similar. You both seem to be often looking for alcohol and are lost. Not a whole lot of difference. And stick together tight as a group, because I can guarantee one of you will get left behind and become a big problem for us. Okay, I mean, like really left behind. So in this job, I wear this uniform. Anybody here wear uniforms? No one. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yes. When you wear a uniform, it's like you're in another dimension. You're like operating in a different world, because you guys just don't even seem to notice us. We just move around. We're like the Oompa Loompas of the giant chocolate factory called our city. It works out good, though. There's some benefits to that. I recently discovered, because besides the obvious, we don't have to think about what we're wearing in the morning. You might judge us in our uniforms, think we look goofy in them, but trust me, we're judging you every day. Because we're checking you out, and we're like, wow, we didn't have an option. You did. Like, you had a choice, and out of everything, this is what you selected to wear today. Possibly you need a uniform. So I wear this uniform, and I don't know if you've noticed, but uniforms to me, at least if you work in a field that was always predominantly male, I feel like there's just like some old school old guy back there, and this is like the last stronghold, like they might want our jobs, but we're gonna make them look bad doing it. We're gonna make them wear our uniforms. I know this recently because I asked for an extra small shirt, and they were like, we don't have those. It's like, yeah, so it's a unisex uniform. Unisex as in everyone must be built like a man. And I think my theory was proven this week when a woman who spent her whole life and career leading up to a great moment that very few people will ever be able to do in this lifetime, this great moment to do a spacewalk, but her uniform doesn't fit, and it's cheaper to just send a man than to get her another uniform. Okay, that was a joke, actually, but it was true. Not your joke. You're supposed to laugh. Okay, yeah, so that was true, and I can relate to that. My uniform, on the other hand, I really shouldn't say makes me look so male. What it makes me look like is a lesbian. Not the cool, hip, young lesbians I see out in the crowd tonight. By the way, if you're straight and unaware, we're basically having a lesbian fiesta right now in this room. You are surrounded. Okay. So my uniform does make me look like a lesbian of maybe another time era. Back earlier, before we became so fashionable. We were strictly just comfortable shoe wearers who did good deeds all the time. Yes. I don't know how we went off the rails, because originally we were like from the land of Lesbos, I don't know, some sort of exotic islanders named lesbians, and then we just became comfortable shoe-wearing dykes. And I can tell you there's a difference, because all the older lesbians here tonight, I'm not going to out you, all the older lesbians tonight asked me if this was a fundraiser. It is. We are going to support everybody on stage tonight. Yeah. So, yeah, because that's what we're used to. No good deed goes unpunished. So back to this uniform. This uniform is, you can't leave. I don't know. Don't even have a discussion about it. This uniform is so lesbian looking that even some of the male co-workers look pretty lesbian. And it's great. What I was going to tell you, one of the perks about the uniform, though, first is just to say that recently I discovered a real perk to it, because a woman was complaining about something I had done, or at least she said I had done. And I managed to convince her otherwise by just simply saying to her, well, how was this person dressed? I mean, was he white? Yes. White shirt, blue shorts? Yes. And I was like, deep voice, short hair. I really just described myself. And then I was like, oh, I think you have me confused with John. And then she was horribly embarrassed because she believed that she had mistaken me for John. I am currently the only White Ranger. There was no John, but I assured her that John would be fired. So that's that. What I was going to say is, so being in this uniform, walking around looking very lesbian, in the quarter here, you might have seen we have people who come down with large signs, not just to sell you big-ass beers, but to sell you religion. So there was this guy. He had managed to make his way out to Canal Street, has a big sign. He's become one of my favorites, though. Put a lot of money and time into the sign. Instead of the usual, go to hell, or you'll be going to hell, burn in hell, his says, hell awaits you, as though we're just going to all round up everybody here. We're getting on a cruise ship, and we're going to a 5-star resort called hell. It was great, and what I really liked about this guy is number one on his sign was lesbians. And I was like, thank God we are finally number one. You know, because the men are always up there. So we were number one. And but then I was a little disappointed. I was about ready to thank him when I saw that there was lesbians, drunkards, something, homosexuals. I was like, uh-oh, he's confused. He thinks lesbians are just women who won't sleep with him and his Uncle Daddy. Or willingly move to the compound. So as I walked in front of him to further check out his sign, he looked at me, and I don't know what he thought, because my outfit clearly says public safety, not police. I have no weapons or anything on me. And he said, thank you for your service. And this has happened before, I will say. Very nice people, not from here, will come up and give me a coffee card or something. Thank you for your service. And I'm like, sorry for that NOPD officer. But what I just wanted to say is I just clearly said to him, you're welcome, but I didn't sleep with your wife. Thank you. You guys have a nice time tonight.